The $1,000 data leak. The secret way free apps block your wealth. 30-day fix. Your phone says today was free. Your inbox says free. Your favorite apps? Free. Yet somewhere between your morning scroll and the checkout page, you lost $700 this year and paid more than the person next to you. In 30 days, you'll see the exact number you can reclaim. Here's what's at stake. Data brokers trading your habits, real-time ad auctions exposing your intent, algorithms nudging your prices, and quiet dings to your credit and insurance. It compounds month after month. By the end, you'll have a clear 3-step playbook to stop the leak, force cleaner quotes, and keep the cash. The price of free, counting the losses. To understand what free really costs, follow the money out of your pocket. Major platforms earn hundreds of dollars per user each year by monetizing attention and behavioral signals. You see none of it. That's the first gap. You're the product, not a participant. The second gap is worse. Because your data fuels the system, you also pay higher prices, get worse offers, and face tougher terms. Free isn't free, it's a toll you don't see. Start with ad revenue. Platforms and publishers monetize your clicks, location pings, late-night searches, and repeat visits. Across the ecosystem, that translates into meaningful dollars per user annually. On the other side of the screen, retailers recover their ad spend by steering prices and pushing higher margin choices to people most likely to say yes. If your profile says high intent, the system tries to harvest that intent. Here's where the personal finance angle kicks in. A few dollars more on a flight, a slightly worse insurance renewal, a fee because an app pushed a fast payment option, a subscription you didn't cancel because the prompt was perfectly timed. These aren't accidents. They're engineered drips. At household scale, the drips merge into a stream that pulls money away from your savings and investing runway. Missed contributions don't just vanish, they cut future compounding. Let's name the sectors where the drain shows up: retail and travel. Dynamic pricing reacts to your browsing path, device type, and timing. People who look ready to buy get fewer discounts, more urgency, and only 2 left prompts that end in higher tickets. Financial products. Pre-qualified offers tied to behavioral data feel convenient, but convenience often hides worse terms. Fast acceptance is the point. Insurance. Risk models adopt alternative signals, inferring lifestyle or stress from proxies. Even small upticks on premiums matter when they repeat every 6 months. Free payments. Buy now, pay later taps your impulse center. Marketed as zero interest, it turns into late fees and stacking for many users. Meanwhile, the data broker economy hums in the background. Big names and niche firms compile identity graphs from app SDKs, pixels, loyalty programs, and location feeds. The market size runs into the hundreds of billions globally when you include ad tech, analytics, and brokered segments sold into marketing, risk, and underwriting. That's the machinery you're up against. You feed it every time you accept the default. Now the compounding. Say the drip totals $60 a month. Small travel upcharges, a higher insurance renewal, a couple of late fees, one convenience checkout that becomes a subscription, and nudged purchases. That's $700+ a year you didn't plan to spend. Left alone, it repeats. Invested instead, it becomes a different story. At a reasonable market return over a decade, those reclaimed dollars stack into meaningful savings, money that buys flexibility, not friction. Why do you pay more while platforms profit? Incentives. Advertisers want precision. Platforms need growth. Brokers get paid for granularity. The result is a targeting flywheel. More data leads to better prediction, which raises conversion and price discrimination power, which funds more data collection. You're optimized, not served. But here's the part that hits home. The overcharge isn't obvious. You don't see an itemized line that says data premium. You see a higher fare at 11:47 p.m. You see members like you paid this price. You see a renewal that reflects market conditions. You see a checkout that defaults to a payment option you'll forget to settle. Tiny decisions, collected over a year, become an invisible tax. So how big is the drain? Think in buckets. Retail and travel nudges, a couple hundred across a year. Insurance and credit terms, another few hundred if your profile isn't pristine. Fees and free payments, a low ceiling if you're disciplined, a higher one if you're juggling. Altogether, a realistic baseline lands in the hundreds, with many households drifting into 4 figures without ever feeling a single big hit. That's why the losses persist. Nothing feels catastrophic, so nothing changes. The good news, the leak is measurable and reversible. You don't need perfect privacy or extreme tools to make a dent. A handful of moves blunt the most profitable signals that drive price steering and bad offers. In 30 days, you can cut exposure, reset the starting price you see, and redirect the reclaimed cash. To see exactly how the leak starts, watch what happens to a single click as it travels the ad marketplace. One page load, hundreds of eyes, and a packet that tells them more than you think. One click, 200 eyes, how real-time bidding exposes you. 3 seconds after you tap a link, the page is still loading. In the background, a race already finished. Your browser asks the site for content. The site's ad server fires a request to its supply-side platform, the SSP managing the open spaces on that page. The SSP packages your moment into a bid request and blasts it to exchanges. Exchanges relay it to dozens of demand-side platforms, DSPs bidding for your attention. In roughly 80 to 120 milliseconds, they decide what you'll see. What's inside that bid request? More than an ad needs. Device type and screen size. A mobile advertising ID or cookie identifiers. IP address. Rough location. Page category. Sometimes a hashed email or phone number if the site or app has permission. Stable anchors that connect you across sessions and devices. It doesn't need your name to keep finding you tomorrow. The DSPs don't start from scratch. They match those identifiers to their own data, plus feeds from data brokers and past campaigns. One bid request meets an identity graph, purchase categories, travel interest, loyalty tags from a retailer, income proxies like device price band and neighborhood, and recent behaviors inferred from other pages. They estimate your likelihood to click or buy, and bid accordingly. The highest bidder wins the slot. Here's the catch. Many firms that don't win still receive your request. They add that moment to a file keyed to your ID. Meanwhile, on your phone, app software development kits, SDKs, collect telemetry. They read the advertising ID, note location if allowed, log session length, taps, and installed apps. In the browser, scripts assemble a fingerprint from fonts, canvas behavior, time zone, and hardware quirks. Clear your cookies, and the fingerprint still looks like you next week. Reset an ad ID, and a single login can reconnect the dots. They didn't know, as you scrolled, that this instant would outlive the page. The request that helped pick an ad also fed profiles that influence future pricing, eligibility screens, and risk scores. Hundreds of these packets stitch a durable picture. You browse late at night. You compare on aggregators but often return to brands. You read about running injuries. You opened a travel site from hotel Wi-Fi using a premium phone. Each detail hints at intent or constraint. This was the moment everything changed. Real-time auctions turned advertising into data distribution. Publishers need revenue, so they optimize yield. Advertisers want efficiency, so they optimize bids. Exchanges promise liquidity, so they maximize participants. More participants mean more data sharing, even for bidders that don't win. The system rewards exposure, not discretion. Why should you care if a few hundred companies glance at your request? Because what they infer becomes leverage. Willingness to pay gets modeled from device class, browsing path, and urgency signals. Stress shows up in frantic search bursts and late-night sessions. Risk tolerance gets guessed from abandoned carts and failed checkouts. Pricing doesn't require certainty, only odds. Small edges multiplied tilt your outcomes. Unknown to you, across town, a data broker compiles bidstream entries with loyalty receipts and a location feed from an innocuous app. They sell segments labeled affluent suburban runners, recent movers, or budget-sensitive travelers. No names, just buckets that matter to pricing engines. Those buckets follow you when you shop insurance, request a card offer, or book travel. There was one problem for anyone hoping to opt out with a single toggle. ArtB isn't a company, it's an ecosystem. Turning off personalized ads in one account doesn't stop bid requests from flowing. Consent dialogues can be leaky if partners claim service provider status or legitimate interests. Apps can refresh IDs. Hashed emails can defeat resets. Identity graphs reconnect fragments quickly. In the aftermath of that single click, your profile got sharper. Future bids will be faster and more confident. That's how the price you see drifts away from the price your neighbor sees. That's how free pages carry a hidden cost, your intent broadcast and stored. It's not theoretical. Publishers publicly state sub-100 millisecond auction windows, and major exchanges enforce 100 millisecond timeouts. Speed is the feature. Exposure is the price. Microstory. Carrie checked a suitcase online at midnight. Within a day, her feeds filled with travel bundles and premium seat nudges. She cleared cookies. The offers stuck. One newsletter login re-anchored the graph, and the bids stayed high. A week later, the hotel rate she saw as a logged-in member was higher than the guest rate in a clean session. From their perspective, this is optimization. From yours, it's a megaphone you didn't mean to switch on. The fix starts upstream. Reduce the identifiers inside those requests. Compartmentalize logins so graphs can't stitch everything together, and run clean sessions when you price check. Because the moment ad auctions stop carrying strong anchors, price discrimination loses its favorite crutch, and the baseline you see starts moving back in your favor. Algorithmic price discrimination. Paying more because they know you. To see why two people get two prices, start with the goal. Companies aren't pricing the product. They're pricing your probability. If a model believes you'll buy at $179, that's the price you see. If it doubts you, a coupon appears. Cost matters less than confidence in your click. It shows up in quiet ways. Travel portals run experiments that never reach a headline. A weekday search from a premium phone looks affluent and less price-sensitive. A late-night click from an older laptop via a comparison site looks cautious. Arrive through an aggregator, you're a bargain hunter. Type the brand directly, you're loyal. Loyalty helps until it boxes you in. Microstory. A teacher in Denver checks a hotel during lunch on her phone. No discount. That night she tries from an older laptop and a comparison link. The base rate drops $12 and a member code appears. The room didn't change. Only the profile did. Mechanisms are simple. Device type becomes an income proxy. Zip code hints at affluence. Browser language and currency signal tourist versus local. Session timing whispers urgency. A flurry of tabs looks like stress. A long dwell with revisits looks like deliberation. Every signal feeds one guess. Will you pay more if nudged? If yes, you'll see fewer promotions. If no, sweeteners. Your path gets scored live. Did you click only 2 left? Did you hover over a premium tier? Did you back out when shipping appeared? The model updates. Loyalty badges can invert their purpose. A gold icon tells them you prefer convenience over hunting. You become a candidate for a small, repeat premium that blends into routine. What nobody tells you is that price discrimination rarely announces itself. The page won't say, "We raised this for you." It says recommended and popular now. It hides the baseline and reframes comparison. The machine only needs a marginal edge over your habits to pull dollars forward. Evidence stretches beyond travel. Retailers test discounts by login state and browsing history. Some throttle coupon availability if they think you'll buy anyway. Test prep companies have been caught tailoring prices by zip code. Personalized experience doubles as an invisible tax bracket. Vulnerability signals matter. Late-night sessions suggest urgency. Multiple visits in one day suggest high intent. An airport IP suggests travel today, not someday. Battery level has been tested as a stress proxy. Even tab order can give you away. If the checkout tab sits pinned at the front, you look committed. Stakes are concrete because the overcharge compounds. $10 on a flight, $4 on a tool, $6 on an upgrade you didn't need. These aren't random. They're recurring microtolls. Across a year, the gap between your price and someone else's shows up in your savings rate, not a headline. And it's hard to call foul. Many tactics live in legal gray zones. There's no rule against showing different prices if differences aren't tied to protected traits. Transparency is optional. Experiments run in milliseconds behind consent language about enhanced experiences. Meanwhile, your inbox tightens the corridor. Promotions calibrate to keep you at a floor. Not the lowest, not the highest, just the number you'll accept. Click last-minute deals, and more last-minute deals arrive. Chase bundles, and bundles get bigger. It looks like choice, but the aisle was drawn around your habits. There's one problem for the models. They need fresh signals. So they push logins, reward app installs, nudge loyalty signups, and ask you to save details for faster checkout. Faster for whom? Speed anchors you. It also supplies reliable IDs that travel across sites and sessions. Microstory. A dad in Atlanta books a rental car. Logged in, he sees $61 a day with a free upgrade. Logged out in a clean session, it's $55 with no upgrade. He wants trunk space, not status. The model assumed prestige mattered more than price. From their perspective, it's optimization. From yours, it's drift. Prices tilt upward, discounts thin out, defaults get sticky. The algorithm isn't moral or immoral. It's narrow. It measures conversion, not fairness. Lifetime value, not lifetime cost to you. Here's where it locks in once. Profiles from ad auctions connect to pricing engines. Willingness to pay escapes the ad box and lands on the checkout page. You didn't agree to pay more. The model decided you would. What can you do without breaking your routine? Change the inputs. Run quotes and comparisons in clean sessions with no logins or extensions. Use a separate browser profile for shopping versus finance. Delay decisions with a wait window so urgency signals fade. Prefer guest checkout. If a loyalty perk truly beats the spread, sign in at the final step and check for base price lifts. If logged-in pricing is higher than a clean session, call or chat and ask for the base. It works more often than you think. Tweak your behavior at the edges. Disable images in promo emails to starve open trackers. Don't store cards at retailers you visit twice a year. Use virtual cards for one-offs. Write down your happy price before you browse. If a banner blares scarcity, reload in the clean profile. If the number holds, decide calmly. And set price alerts for things you know you'll buy, so you respond to a threshold you chose rather than a timeline they nudge. None of this makes you invisible. It makes you unpredictable. Unpredictable profiles are hard to monetize. When the data that props up price discrimination turns fuzzy, your baseline inches closer to fair, and the dollars that used to drift away start staying put. Your data, their rates, credit, insurance, and employment filters. Price nudges sting, but rates decide your runway. The same signals that helped an ad find you can tilt credit approvals, raise insurance premiums, and screen your resume before anyone reads it. To see how, watch how alternative data slips into decisions that shape your monthly burn. Credit first. Lenders still pull FICO, but they layer signals around it. Utility and telecom payment histories, subscription churn, buy now pay later performance, even application metadata. Miss a $12 BNPL installment because the app buried the due date, and it looks like short-term liquidity stress. Open several BNPL lines in a month, and models flag riskier behavior. Device and behavioral cues ride along too. The phone you applied on, the time of day, typing cadence deviations that feed fraud scores. None of these alone should define you. Together, they move the line between approved and not yet, and they nudge APR offers higher, cost you feel every statement. Microstory. Maya applies for a card after an hour of late-night travel searches on hotel Wi-Fi. 2 recent BNPL purchases sit open. The issuer's system blends the credit file with alt signals, tags near-term cash tightness, and returns a personalized APR 3.9 points higher than a clean profile would have earned. She never sees the why, only the number. Insurance is sprinting down the same path. Auto carriers use telematics, how hard you brake, when you drive, whether your phone moves when the car does. Opt in for a discount, and the app watches. Opt out, and proxies fill in garaging zip code, commute patterns inferred from location history, lifestyle segments stitched from purchase data. In some states, credit-based insurance scores are limited or banned, so carriers reach for other predictors. A series of late-night sessions plus higher estimated miles can bump your premium. Small moves matter when they repeat every 6 months. Home and renters policies pull other feeds. Property records, roof age, neighborhood loss history, wildfire or flood maps. Then marketing segments add recent mover, pet owner, or short-term rental host. Quotes arrive pre-filled. Pre-fill feels like service. It's also an anchor that's often wrong. If annual miles or roof year is off, you might accept it. The mistake becomes a monthly fee. What nobody explains is that pre-fill is a two-way mirror. Insurers and lenders buy data to guess your answers. Faster quotes are real, so is the leverage they get when you nod along. Accept the guess, pay the premium. Employment filters add a quiet layer. Background check firms match resumes against commercial databases. Payroll verification, education, address histories. Some recruiters run fit and churn models that score stability from job hops, gaps, and inferred traits. Identity graphs that linked your email to a marketing segment can bleed into a profile suggesting you'll bounce. You won't see that score. You'll read, "We moved forward with another candidate." Meanwhile, collections and retention flows adjust to your signals. If you've accepted automated offers before, you'll get them more often, and on worse terms. Penalty APRs kick in faster when models predict low pushback. The loop tightens. Higher rates compress cash flow. Thin cash flow triggers more convenient financing. Alternative data records the scramble, and the next quote bakes it in. Stakes are personal and compounding. 1 percentage point on a $22,000 car loan is hundreds over the term. A $14 monthly insurance difference is $168 this year. Then again next year. A screened-out interview delays income. Spread across a household, these frictions delay your first $10,000 invested by months or a year, and that delay compounds against you. Microstory: Jamal shops auto insurance at renewal. Logged in, a loyalty reward still prices $19 higher per month than a clean quote from a fresh browser profile. He calls, corrects pre-filled miles and garaging, and watches $228 a year vanish from the bill. Same driver, cleaner inputs. From the industry's view, this is modernization. More data, better segmentation, fewer losses. From yours, it's a sorting machine that mistakes context for character. Browsing at 1 a.m. might be childcare. The NPL spikes might be a move. The model doesn't ask why. It counts how often. You can't wait for policy to catch up. Rules are improving. Privacy rights, broker registries, explainability pushes, but enforcement lags while data flows in milliseconds. Your leverage levs upstream and at the point of quote. Here's the play that works without drama: strip anchors. Freeze credit at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's free, reversible, and it forces an active choice on new accounts. Suppress data at check systems and early warning if bank openings have been rough. Prune sharing. In bank and card portals, disable share data with partners and personalized offers. Unlink rewards marketplaces you don't use. Those deals often trade hashed emails and card tokens for attribution. Compartmentalize identity. Keep finance logins on a clean browser profile with no retail extensions. Don't reuse the shopping email for lenders or insurers. You want approvals priced on income and credit, not blended behavior. Force manual quotes. 6 weeks before renewal, run a fresh browser profile with no logins or extensions. Gather 3 to 5 like-for-like quotes. Call 2 carriers and challenge every pre-filled field: annual miles, commute, roof year, safety features. Pre-fill errors are recurring taxes. Treat telematics as a trial. If you test it, use a dedicated phone profile, capture the discount terms, and set an exit reminder. Remove it if the discount erodes or monitoring persists. Document and redirect. When you shave a premium or APR, set an automatic transfer for that exact monthly difference to high-yield cash or your index fund. Turn cleaner inputs into compounding. Microstory: Priya moved across town and her premium jumped. A clean session quote with corrected commute miles and an updated roof age saved $16 a month. She pushed $16 to savings automatically. 6 months later, renewal landed lower again, no telematics required. You won't erase every inference. You don't need to. Clean the inputs, separate identities, and force humans into steps algorithms want to rush. Rates start to reflect you, not your leak. The data supply chain, from app SDKs to shadow brokers. To see how your signals turn into someone else's revenue, follow the chain that carries them. It starts simple: an app you enjoy, a site you read, a loyalty swipe for a coupon. Behind each sits code the brand didn't write, software development kits, or SDKs, for analytics, ads, crash reporting, messaging. They don't just fix bugs. They harvest identifiers. On phones, the anchor is the mobile advertising ID. It's resettable, but most people never reset it. SDKs read that ID, grab IP address and rough GPS if allowed, list installed apps, and log event streams, session length, taps, searches, purchases. In the browser, pixels and tags play the same role. They drop cookies, track your path, and phone home with referral parameters that reveal which campaign brought you in. Clear one cookie jar, and another script still recognizes the pattern. Unknown to you, across town, your favorite retailer's email vendor is hashing your address into a stable token. That hash joins your phone number and loyalty ID as hard anchors in an identity graph. Even if you reset your ad ID, a single login or receipt scan can reconnect the dots. Clean rooms, safe spaces where companies compare customer lists without exposing raw data, make these matches at scale. We don't share personal data, the slide says. The outcome is the same: persistent linkage. Brokers sit in layers. Compilers sweep public records and commercial sources, property files, licenses, transaction feeds. Aggregators buy app telemetry, web analytics, and retail receipts, then stitch profiles. Resellers slice those into segments: recent movers, credit-challenged, wellness enthusiasts, and sell them into marketing, risk, and insurance. Specialty brokers focus on niches: payroll verification, location traces, automotive ownership, audience measurement. A single ad bid request, when it carries the right IDs, can enrich all of them. First-party giants run their own pipelines. Credit bureaus operate marketing divisions. Payment processors sell audience products. Retailers monetize loyalty graphs. A pharmacy knows when you moved. A grocer knows your category shifts. A streaming app knows your late-night habits. They promise anonymization, but uniqueness is easy when you combine location, device, and routine. It doesn't need your name to be you. Why do firms keep buying? 5 incentives recur. Acquisition, cheaper targeting. Retention, churn models that trigger offers before you leave. Pricing, willingness to pay estimates that lift margin. Risk scoring, fraud and credit decisions that tweak approvals and APRs. Measurement, closing the loop to prove budgets should grow. Every department has a KPI that more data seems to improve. MicroStory, a fitness app adds a social SDK for leaderboards and a route SDK for heat maps. The route vendor quietly sells aggregated traces to an intermediary. That intermediary bundles the signals with retail purchases from a loyalty network and offers urban lunchtime gym goers. An insurer pilots a wellness discount. A year later, the discount becomes a surcharge for those who stop going. There's one problem for anyone trying to opt out one by one. The chain multiplies your consent. You say yes to an app. The app says yes to 10 partners. Those partners swap in clean rooms or claim service provider status. A weather app's location feed ends up in a broker's package, then inside a model that nudges your premium. By the time you feel it, the trail is cold. Identifiers keep the chain tight. Ad IDs and cookies are obvious. Hashed emails, phone numbers, and loyalty IDs are the glue. Browser fingerprints fill gaps. IP addresses bind households. Even device price bands, flagged by user agents and app stores, become income proxies. Privacy toggles help, but one login on a clean browser can reseed the graph. That's why rotation and compartmentalization beat a one-time purge. While that's happening in SDKs, finance adds quiet pipes. Rewards marketplaces, account linking tools, and enhanced receipts can shuttle hashed identifiers back to partners for attribution. Banks limit some sharing by default, but aggregator APIs recreate the graph if you don't prune them. Data leaves through improve your experience, then returns as a decision you can't easily appeal. Follow the money, and the picture sharpens. Ad platforms pay publishers. Publishers install more SDKs. Data revenue smooths volatility, so they lean in. Brokers monetize both ends, supplying audiences and measuring performance. Investors reward growth curves, not restraint. The cheapest place to find more growth is your routine. In the aftermath, your leverage becomes a checklist. Use web versions instead of leaky apps when you can. Turn off background refresh and revoke permissions that aren't essential. Reset the mobile ad ID on a schedule and disable cross-app tracking. Say no to loyalty when it doesn't pay you back in cash. Keep identities separate, one email for shopping, another for finance, another for travel. Prefer guest checkout and avoid login with social buttons. Use masked cards for one-offs, and dedicate a virtual number to subscriptions so cancellations stick. The goal isn't vanishing. It's scarcity, making your most valuable signals rare enough that the models wobble. MicroStory. After deleting 4 retail apps and moving to mobile web, Elena saw fewer member-bundled defaults and more straightforward base prices. The checkout still worked. The background beacons didn't. She took the $9 monthly difference and set an automatic transfer. Incentives that keep it broken. If the leak feels engineered, it's because every link in the chain gets paid when your signals flow. Start with publishers. Most operate on thin margins where ad revenue isn't extra, it's survival. When one banner pays more with richer targeting, yield teams lean into whatever increases auction value. Header bidding invites more buyers to compete. More buyers means more bid requests, more identifiers, more scripts. Add one SDK to stabilize revenue, then two to hit quarterly targets. Individually, each integration looks rational. Together, they normalize surveillance as a business habit. While that's happening on the page, platform economics push in the same direction. Ad platforms run optimization flywheels. More data trains better models lift conversion. Higher conversion unlocks bigger budgets fund more collection. Teams get rewarded for lift click-throughs, return on ad spend, lower acquisition costs. Nobody gets a bonus for deleting a field from the pipeline. So dashboards expand, consent prompts get streamlined, and identity matching becomes table stakes. Investors amplify the pattern. Growth stories win. Personalization boosts growth curves quickly, so experiments that raise revenue by 2 or 3% become permanent. If a test shows identity matching delivers higher average order value, that test scales. If mandatory logins improve retention, the wall goes up. The cost, more data exposure, doesn't show up in quarterly reports. Markets price revenue, not privacy externalities. Meanwhile, vendors sell fixes that extend the same logic. Clean rooms promise privacy-preserving collaboration, but the outcome is still deterministic matching. Identity graphs promise reach and frequency control across devices, which means more stable anchors across your life. SSPs advertise higher yield with richer bidstream fields. DSPs pitch better win rates with more deterministic IDs. If any partner dials back, another promises a workaround. A new fingerprint, a different alias, a service provider classification that keeps the pipe open under a different label. Policy moves, but slowly. State privacy laws add rights to access, delete, and limit sharing. Broker registries expand. Regulators investigate consent flows. Yet auctions happen in under a tenth of a second, while complaints and enforcement take months. Even when rules curb one tactic, cookies say another rises. Hashed emails, probabilistic IDs, more aggressive fingerprinting. You can win a deletion and get re-identified the next time you log into a newsletter with the same email. Consumer behavior locks it in. Defaults drive choices. Accept all is the fastest button. Logins make checkout easy. Loyalty points look like savings. The benefit is immediate. The cost is delayed and diffuse. The system doesn't need everyone to opt in. It needs enough people to keep the models fresh and the identity graphs accurate. Then there's the math. Data compounding is convex. Each new dataset increases the value of the old ones because combinations unlock new inferences. The 10th signal doesn't add 10%. It might double utility when paired with the 9th. That convexity encourages hoarding. Once a firm builds an identity graph, it becomes a moat, expensive to copy, tough to regulate away without blunt pressure. Competitors rush to build their own graphs. Restraint becomes a disadvantage. Across the vendor chain, costs and benefits are contractual. Attribution vendors promise closed-loop measurement. Audience vendors guarantee deterministic match rates. If a publisher or brand removes a partner, someone asks, how will we hit target ROAS without this data? Payroll depends on those curves. A team that chooses restraint risks missing targets. A team that ships another integration gets a pat on the back. Microstory. A mid-sized publisher hits a revenue dip. A contextual partner claims no personal data, just smarter pages. Revenue jumps 8%. 6 months later, an audit finds the partner enriched context with hashed emails from affiliate links. The partner stays. The newsroom's salaries depend on that 8%. Advertisers, for their part, aren't plotting a heist, they're chasing efficiency. When a model says bid more for users who look like this, budgets shift. If the model says this cohort buys without coupons, coupons vanish for that cohort. No one in the room is calculating your personal overcharge. They're optimizing a curve that treats you as a dot. Users ask, why not regulation? It's coming, and it'll help. Clearer definitions of sale and sharing, audits of data sources, tighter consent. But rulemaking and litigation will lag innovation. Even strong frameworks create carve-outs for service providers and legitimate business purposes that turn into tunnels. So the machine keeps turning because every actor sees a local win. Publishers stabilize revenue, platforms hit KPIs, advertisers cut waste, investors see growth, users get speed and perks. The surplus, quietly, rides on your willingness to pay and risk estimates. That's why your counterplay isn't moral grandstanding. It's incentive hacking. When you starve easy signals, rotate ad IDs, use clean sessions, compartmentalize emails, avoid stored cards, you lower the return on invasive tactics. When you force manual quotes and challenge pre-fill, you raise the cost of lazy assumptions. When enough households add friction upstream, the flywheel loses its grip. Budgets shift toward channels that work without surveillance because they're the ones still delivering. And that's when baseline prices, rates, and offers start moving back toward you. The system is broken by design, but your counterplay doesn't require a new law. It just needs new habits. For the rest of this video, we're going to use the 30-day Reclaim to cut the data anchors, build your financial firewall, and turn the savings into a compounding force. The household budget drain, a conservative model. Let's run the numbers without hype. Picture a mid-income household. 2 phones, a laptop, normal shopping and social apps, a couple trips a year, auto plus renters or homeowners insurance, a few subscriptions. They use loyalty casually, stay logged in often, and don't reset device IDs. No disasters, just defaults. Retail and travel first. Logged in browsing and app funnels raise floors when intent looks high. Conservatively, missed coupons and higher base prices add $8 a month across routine shopping. 2 trips a year add $20 total from members only, anchors that nudge you off lower guest rates. That's $96 in retail plus $20 in travel. $116 annually. Insurance is a slow bleed. Renewal quotes lean on churn models and pre-filled guesses, annual miles, commute, garaging, roof age. Logged in, you see a loyalty benefit that still embeds a small premium. A phone call and a clean quote often save $12 to $20 per month, but most people don't call. Split the difference. Assume a $9 monthly avoidable premium. That's $108 a year. Fees and free payments next. 1 buy now pay later installment arrives a day after a card replacement. A $7 late fee hits. Add 2 convenience fees from instant transfers or expedited payments at $3 each. That's $13. If 1 revolving card balance exists, flex pay and upgrade nudges can raise interest you'd otherwise avoid. Conservatively, call it $24 across a year from timing and suboptimal choices. Subscriptions drift because renewal cliffs and intro pricing hide in plain sight. 2 streaming services, a rotating third, a cloud plan, a premium news promo that renews at full price. Without a calendar audit, peg the average overpay at $4 a month. That's $48 a year. Travel incidentals hide in default bundles. A 1-week rental once a year runs $18 higher when logged in with a free upgrade versus a clean guest session. Airport parking prepay nudges add $6 across 2 trips. Total, $24. Checkout psychology adds tiny deltas that repeat. Only 2 left, popular now. And fastest delivery, steer 1 card a quarter into a higher margin variant or paid shipping when the free window would have worked. 4 nudges at $3 each, $12. Add it. $116 plus $108 plus $13 plus $24 plus $48 plus $24 plus $12 equals $345 a year. That's the disciplined but default version. No chronic BNPL stacking, no telematics lock-in, minimal travel, no major device resets. Now a medium exposure household. Same family, but they install brand apps for coupons and leave them. They test a telematics discount, then let it lapse. Persistent logins and app funnels lift retail/travel steering to $18 a month, $216. Insurance creep rises to $13 monthly from inference and a faded discount, $156. BNPL and fees, 2 late fees and 1 return fee total $19. Subscriptions, $7 monthly overpay from bundle sprawl and renewal cliffs, $84. Travel incidentals, 2 rentals and 1 resort service, differential add $49. Checkout nudges, $20. Total, $544. High exposure isn't chaos, it's convenience turned up. Think time-strapped families saving cards everywhere, accepting save details, and living in brand apps. Retail/travel steering at $28 per month, $336. Insurance premiums $18 monthly above a clean manual quote, $216. BNPL and timing fees stacked to $45 with 3 cycles and 1. Almost overdraft transfer. Subscription drift at $11 monthly. $132. Travel incidentals and dynamic hotel fees, $86. Checkout nudges, $28. Total, $843. These baselines exclude big errors, fraud, and rare windfalls from price dips. They also avoid double-counting broker effects that reinforce the same nudges. The point isn't that everyone loses $843. It's that ordinary frictions plausibly land many households between $345 and $843 without a single dramatic event. Now compounding. Redirect the midpoint, call it $600, into an automatic $50 monthly transfer. At a conservative 6% annual return, that's roughly $3,300 after 5 years and about $7,900 after 10. Tighten your protocol and push the Reclaim to $75 monthly, and 10 years approaches $11,800. That's a used car you don't finance, or the buffer that keeps you from tapping a card at 22% APR when the fridge dies. Behavior compounds too. Clean quotes, compartmentalized browsers, wait windows, and guest checkouts reduce the high-intent label over time. Fewer high anchors reach you, more genuine deals surface. Your baseline quietly drops while your transfer stays automatic. Microstory. Dana ran the playbook for 1 month. She booked a hotel as a guest in a clean session, then added her loyalty number after. She called auto insurance 6 weeks before renewal with a manual quote and corrected miles. She canceled a drifting third streaming app. Her tally: $18 off travel, $14 off insurance monthly, $12 saved on subscriptions. She set a $44 automatic transfer the same day. 2 months later, she forgot about it. The transfer didn't forget about her. Risk and reality check. You won't hit the same number every month. Some months deliver $20, others deliver $90. Set your transfer at the floor you can keep, say $40, and use a second sweep rule for extras. When your buffer reaches target, bump the floor by $10. The habit matters more than the precision. Why this works: you're not chasing unicorns. You're removing inflated floors, correcting wrong pre-fill, and refusing funnels that monetize urgency. Each fix feels small, the stack is not. And each dollar you move out of checking becomes a shield against the very nudges that created the leak. In short, measure a boring leak, fix it with boring steps, and let boring compounding do the exciting part you'll only notice later. The 30-day Reclaim, block, opt-out, replace. Now the turn. 30 days to choke the feed that powers price steering and bad offers. 3 lanes, run in parallel, block, opt-out, replace. You're not going off-grid. You're changing what the system can see and converting the wins into cash you actually keep. Week 1 is block. Split your online life. Create 2 browser profiles: shopping/travel and finance/healthcare. In shopping, enable strict tracking protection, block third-party cookies, add a reputable tracker blocker, and use a cookie auto-deleter so sessions die when tabs close. Set your search engine to one that doesn't build behavioral profiles. In finance, keep extensions to 0, block third-party cookies entirely, and never stay logged into retailers. At the network layer, point phones and laptops to a privacy DNS and enable DNS over HTTPS so lookups are encrypted. If you use a VPN, use it like a scalpel. Enable it for fair hunting and hotel quotes. Disable it for banking so fraud models don't panic. On phones, reset the mobile advertising ID, toggle limit ad tracking, or ask app not to track. Turn off cross-app tracking, and kill background app refresh for anything that isn't navigation, messaging, or calendar. Microstep, right now. Turn off automatic image loading in your email so open tracking pixels stop learning when you're most persuadable. Then clear site data in your shopping profile. Log back in only to accounts you actually use monthly, not saved for convenience. Week 2 is opt-out. You won't catch every broker, but cutting the biggest pipes moves the needle. Freeze credit at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's free, reversible, and forces identity checks before new accounts open. Add a fraud alert if you want a second verification step. Then hit major data broker portals: Axiom, Oracle Advertising, CoreLogic, LexisNexis, TransUnion's marketing arm, Experian Marketing, and submit access, deletion, and do not sell/share requests. Where your state offers a centralized mechanism, file there too. Finish every email verification. Half-completed requests don't count. Next, Clean ad IDs where you control them. In Google, turn off ad personalization and remove listed interests. In social accounts, opt out of off-platform activity and audience matching. Reset the mobile ad ID again after a week. New runs break long histories that models prize. In your major retail accounts, delete stored cards and ancient addresses. Fewer anchors mean fewer deterministic matches in clean rooms. Microstep: remove your records from a handful of people search sites that feed broader graphs. It's tedious, but those listings propagate. Set a 6-month reminder to refresh removals and broker opt-outs. Some reappear quietly. Week 3 is replace. Swap leaky defaults for tools that don't monetize your routine. Use a privacy-focused email with unlimited aliases for shopping. Keep a separate, long-standing address for banking and taxes. For search and maps, choose options that don't log to build profiles. Use a password manager to generate unique logins so you can create one merchant, one email without reuse. Payments are leverage. For one-offs, use masked cards or single-use virtual numbers. When you cancel, close the number so accidental renewals can't restart. For subscriptions, dedicate a single virtual card and a shopping alias. Audit monthly and kill the card when you quit. At checkout, prefer guest mode in a clean session. If a loyalty perk truly beats the spread, sign in at the final step, screenshot before and after, and make sure the base price didn't lift. For travel and big-ticket items, run quotes in that clean shopping profile with no extensions or logins. Compare direct versus aggregator in fresh windows. If the guest price beats the member price, book as a guest and add your loyalty number later via confirmation code. If a call can match the lower public rate, take the call. Human quotes often beat logged-in funnels. Messaging and identity need compartmentalization. Use masked phone numbers for Sign UPS where available. Don't log in with a social account. Single sign-on is convenient glue. Unlink retailer wallet social chains inside settings. Kill personalized promotions, toggles in apps you keep. MicroStory: a family-priced flights at $322 in a clean session with free seat selection. In the airline app, logged in, the same itinerary was $338 with a bundle pre-selected. They booked as guests at $322, then added the reservation to the app afterward. Same seats, lower base, no bundle. Week 4 is tighten and automate. Set monthly reminders to reset the mobile ad ID, clear cookies in the shopping profile, and rotate your shopping alias if spam spikes. In bank and card portals, disable shared data with partners. Unlink rewards marketplaces you don't use, and prune connected apps. In insurance and telecom portals, opt out of data sharing where offered. Then redirect the spread. Create an automatic transfer for the amount you expect to reclaim, $50 or $75 per month, into high-yield cash or a low-cost index fund. The money leaves checking before the next nudge finds it. Measure your wins to reinforce the habit. Keep a simple note. Lower guest rate beat logged in by $14. Manual insurance quote saved $16 monthly. Canceled bundle saved $8. Each line becomes a transfer or a transfer bump. When your buffer hits target, raise the investment transfer, keep the sweep for irregular wins, and move on. You won't erase your shadow in a month, but you'll starve the models of the easy, lucrative signals. Cleaner inputs mean truer baseline prices, fewer personalized traps, and quotes you can actually compare. And when the savings auto-move, you turn a privacy fix into a compounding habit that keeps paying while you ignore it. App diet: kill the SDKs. You don't need to disappear. You need to stop feeding the hungriest mouths on your phone. The fastest way is an app diet. Fewer apps, fewer permissions, fewer background leaks. On mobile, the SDK is the leak. Every extra feature, vendor inside an app, is another straw in your data. Start with a hard audit. Open your library and sort by last used. Anything untouched in 30 days is a candidate. Delete shopping apps you installed for a coupon. Remove free utilities, QR scanners, flashlight clones, novelty weather. Most exist to ship your ad ID, rough location, and app list to partners. If a brand has a decent mobile website, use that instead of the native app. The browser sandboxes third-party code, apps invited in. Now strip permissions. Set location to while using or never for every app that doesn't truly need maps or delivery. Kill always access entirely. Turn off Bluetooth unless a device requires it. Revoke contacts, calendars, and photos for anything that doesn't upload. Change camera and microphone to ask every time. If an app breaks without a permission, decide if the feature is worth a persistent leak. Most aren't. Background activity is quiet loss. Disable background app refresh for anything that isn't navigation, messaging, or calendar. On Android, restrict background data per app. On iOS, toggle off refresh per app. This cuts telemetry streams SDKs rely on and stops silent ID checks that keep identity graphs fresh. Compartmentalize your phone. Create a shopping home screen and a finance home screen. On Android, use a separate user or work profile for finance apps. On iOS, use focus modes to hide entire sets of apps when you're in banking mode. The rule is simple. Never be logged into a retailer when you open a bank app. It's hygiene, not paranoia. Prefer the web over apps. For brands you use twice a year, airlines, hotels, furniture, pin the mobile site to your home screen. You'll still check in and track packages without a permanent SDK sucking identifiers every hour. If a platform offers app clips or instant apps, use those for single actions instead of a full install. Payment hygiene closes easy loops. Remove stored cards from retailer apps. For one-offs, use masked cards or single-use virtual numbers. If your bank supports merchant-locked virtual numbers, use them for subscriptions. Decline save for next time, unless you genuinely return often, and only on merchants that treat you fairly. Avoid linking your bank account via instant aggregators when a card works. If you must link, visit your bank's connected apps page monthly and cut anything you don't use. Loyalty needs a pause. If points don't convert clearly to cash savings, skip the ID at checkout. When you must use loyalty, bind it to a shopping alias email and, where possible, a mask number. Don't hand over your real phone unless the benefit is cash equivalent. Every loyalty swipe is an anchor. Anchors make identity graphs confident. Reset identifiers on a schedule. Open your phone's advertising settings, reset the mobile ad ID, and disable personalized ads. On iOS, keep allow apps to request to track off. On Android, toggle off ads personalization. Do this monthly. It won't make you invisible, but it breaks long, clean runs that models love. A few categories deserve deletion on site. Keyboard replacements from unknown vendors. Cleaner and booster apps. Free VPNs. Coupon extensions that inject code on every page. Third-party social clients. If they're free and promise magic, the revenue is you. For apps you keep, cut hidden integrations. In settings, look for partners, linked accounts, or data sharing. Unlink what you don't need. Maps inside shopping, shopping inside wallets, wallets inside social. Turn off in-app personalized ads. Decline personalized promotions. Say no to track across other apps. Disable push notifications for retail. Use your calendar for reminders you control. Microstory. Lena loved a top fitness app. She denied GPS and felt safe. Her feed still suggested popular routes. The route heat map came from a third-party SDK using Wi-Fi and motion for rough location. She deleted the app, used the web version for plans, and the running shoe emails slowed to a crawl. Run a quarterly app fast. For one weekend, delete everything non-essential. Keep banking, messaging maps. Live on web views. On Monday, reinstall only what you missed. Most people never bring back a third of what they removed. That's a third fewer SDKs, a third fewer background beacons, and a third fewer chances to be labeled high intent. Tighten identity inside the apps that remain. Switch retail logins to per-merchant email aliases stored in your password manager. Disable social sign-in and unlink past connections. Remove saved addresses you don't use. Clear app caches after purchases so session tokens die. If an app forces a login for browsing, use the mobile site instead. The forced login reveals their priority. Finally, set 2 maintenance habits. First, a monthly 5-minute pass. Reset the ad ID, clear Safari/Chrome website data for shopping, review connected apps at your bank, and kill stale loyalty links. Second, a standing rule. If an app adds a surprise permission request after an update, deny it and review why. If the reason isn't clear, delete. You're not trying to be a ghost. You're making high-value signals scarce and short-lived. When the app layer quiets down, the rest of the stack has less to work with. Prices stop twitching upward. Quotes calm down. The background noise turns into money you keep. Financial firewall, banks, credit, and insurance. You've quieted the app layer. Now harden the pipes money actually flows through, your bank accounts, your credit files, and your insurance quotes. This isn't paranoia. It's leverage. Each switch you flip reduces data that feeds rates and resets the baseline a pricing engine can anchor to. Start with banking. Log into every bank, card, and fintech portal. Find privacy or sharing. Turn off share data with partners, personalized offers, marketing insights, and shopping notifications. If your bank runs a rewards marketplace, unlink retailers you don't actively use. Those programs often exchange hashed emails and card tokens for attribution. In connected apps or linked accounts, remove aggregators and third-party tools you don't rely on monthly. If you must keep an aggregator, prefer read-only access and revoke write permissions. Fewer pipes, fewer leaks. Limit transaction exhaust. Opt out of transaction-level ad targeting if your issuer offers it. Decline enhanced receipts that route itemized purchases through outside processors. If your card supports virtual numbers, use them. Create one dedicated number for recurring bills and a separate single-use number for one-off purchases. When you cancel a subscription, close the recurring number. That breaks a back channel without arguing with support. Now credit. Place a credit freeze at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. It's free, reversible, and blocks new accounts unless you lift it. Add a fraud alert if you want lenders to verify identity before approvals. Keep each bureau's PIN handy. When you apply for a loan or card, lift the freeze at the bureau the lender uses, then drop it back down after the decision. Freezes won't stop soft pulls, but they prevent opportunistic identity matching from turning into new lines you didn't authorize. Yes, lifting a freeze takes 2 minutes. But those 2 minutes prevent a dozen background data pulls and force a lender to rely on your credit score, not a shaky guess about your lifestyle. That's leverage. Mind the secondary bureaus. If you've had bank account denials or closures, request your file from check systems and early warning services and dispute errors. Telecom and utility programs that build credit by reporting payments can help if you're always on time. If your payment patterns are uneven, opt out. With Buy Now, Pay Later, assume performance is observed even when it isn't on your main report yet. Limit concurrent plans and close accounts you don't need to reduce noise in alternative data. Clean identity anchors tied to financing. In your email accounts, remove old recovery numbers and addresses you no longer control. In each lender's profile, disable marketing preferences and tailored recommendations. Review recognized devices and remember this device tokens. Remove any you don't use. Consistency matters. Keep finance logins on a separate browser profile with no retail extensions and never reuse your shopping alias with lenders or insurers. You want approvals priced on credit and income, not blended behavior. Insurance is where process turns into cash. Don't autopilot renewals. 6 weeks before your auto or property policy renews, run a clean room play. Step 1. Create a fresh browser profile with no extensions and no logged-in sessions. Step 2. Get 3 to 5 quotes through comparison sites with identical coverage limits, deductibles and mileage or rebuild assumptions. Step 3. Visit carriers directly in that clean profile and capture quotes. Step 4. Call 2 carriers and ask for manual quotes. Challenge every pre-filled field: annual miles, commute, garaging zip, roof year, safety features. Pre-fill mistakes are recurring taxes. If a telematics discount tempts you, test it strategically. Use a separate phone profile, drive your best during the measurement window, and screenshot the discount terms. Calendar the reevaluation date. If the discount erodes or monitoring persists past the trial, remove it. A small upfront discount can become a permanent data feed that raises your base later. For home or renters, ask what third-party data sources they use for rebuild cost, roof age, and hazards. Verify. If a carrier can't explain or won't correct obvious errors, get a competing quote and be ready to switch. Loyalty talk doesn't beat numbers. Health and life pull you toward wearables and wellness programs. If you opt in, document the rules and cap the feed. If the discount depends on ongoing streams, decide whether a marginal savings is worth persistent tracking. Many households win more by running clean quotes and avoiding telemetry entirely. Microstory. Sam noticed his auto renewal up $19 a month with a loyalty benefit. In a clean profile, the base quote was lower. He called, corrected pre-filled miles and garaging, and matched the clean base. He set a $19 monthly transfer to savings the same day. Close the loop by turning wins into automatic cash flow. Create 2 automations. One moves your average premium savings into high-yield cash each month. The other sweeps card rewards to statement credit or savings monthly so they don't nudge spending. Visibility matters. Label transfers clearly, insurance delta, bank leak stop, so you see the habit pay. Tighten settings that quietly reopen leaks. In your bank app, revisit data sharing toggles quarterly. In card portals, opt out of offers matched from your spending. In insurer dashboards, decline marketing and partner programs. In telecom accounts, opt out of analytics and add personalization. These toggles refresh after redesigns. Your reminder catches silent reversions. When you apply for credit, keep your identity stable and clean. Use your finance email, not your shopping alias. Apply from a device and network you regularly use for finance to avoid fraud friction. Lift freezes only where required and only for the window you need. After approval or denial, refreeze and save the decision details. If a logged-in quote beats a clean one by adding a genuine cash perk, take it. If the logged-in price is higher than a clean guest rate, screenshot both call and ask for the base. It's common, and asking often works. You're not fighting the entire system. You're removing the easy wins it takes from you. Exhaust in bank portals, pre-fill errors, logged-in price lifts, and identity anchors that invite steering. Harden the financial perimeter, and the inside gets quieter. Then let the automation do what algorithms were doing to you. Work in the background, every month, in your favor. Advanced privacy stack, identity minimization. You've quieted the feeds and hardened the money pipes. Now make yourself hard to stitch together. The rule is simple. Minimize identity, rotate what can rotate, and compartmentalize the rest so one leak doesn't flood your life. Start with anchors. Create 3 email lanes: finance, personal, and shopping. Finance never touches newsletters, loyalty, or trials. Personal is for people, not brands. Shopping lives on an alias system that lets you mint one unique address per merchant. When a store leaks or resells, you kill that alias without touching banking or friends. Do the same with phone numbers. Keep your real number private. Force sign UPS and deliveries. Use mask numbers where available so spam lands in a place you can shut off. Rotate what was designed to rotate. Every 60 to 90 days, reset your mobile advertising ID. Clear ad interest profiles inside big accounts and turn off personalization. Refresh your shopping alias if it starts drawing too many "we miss you" pings. Rotation breaks the long, clean runs models love and turns your profile into snapshots instead of a live feed. Split your browsing into compartments. Create separate profiles for shopping, travel, housing, finance, and healthcare. In each, set strict defaults. No camera, no mic, no notifications. Block third-party cookies. Isolate sites into containers if your browser supports them. Keep finance and healthcare extension-free and logged out of anything unrelated. In the shopping profile, use a cookie auto-deleter so sessions end the moment you close a tab. If a site demands a login just to browse, open it in a sacrifice profile and close it after the task. Stabilize where stability helps and rotate where rotation helps. Banking and taxes want a steady identity and device. Shopping and travel benefit from clean, fresh sessions. Treat VPNs like a tool, not a costume. Enable for fair hunting and hotel quotes. Disable for banking so fraud checks don't spike. Point your router and phones to a private DNS and enable encrypted DNS lookups so metadata leaks less before pages even load. Avoid the glue. Log in with social or search accounts is convenient, and it's also a cross-site identity bridge. Use your password manager to create one unique email per merchant instead. Don't link wallets across retailers unless there's a clear cash payoff. Kill unnecessary integrations inside apps. Maps inside shopping, shopping inside wallets, wallets inside social. Unlink them. Each link is a back channel for identifiers. Minimize instead of poisoning. Fake data sounds fun until it boomerangs into credit, healthcare, or insurance. Prefer leaving optional fields blank or routing them to masks. Provide only what's necessary. For delivery and tax. Skip middle names, exact birthdays, or phone numbers unless they're required for a service you actually value. When a form insists on non-essential fields, try a different channel or vendor. Reduce fingerprinting surface. Standardize fonts and limit exotic extensions in your shopping profile. Decline canvas access when prompted. If a site breaks without permissive settings, Complete the task in a sandboxed window and close it. On mobile, keep Allow apps to request to track, disabled, and deny cross-app tracking prompts. On Android, toggle off ads personalization and reduce signals that reveal hardware quirks. You're not aiming for perfect anonymity. You want unpredictability that breaks deterministic matches. Microstory. Alex ran one shopping alias for years. He split it into per-merchant aliases and built a travel-only profile with no logins or extensions. Next time he priced hotels, base rates dipped and member bundles stopped replacing cheaper options. Same city and dates. Cleaner identity. Compartmentalize payments. Use virtual cards for one-offs and a dedicated recurring virtual number for subscriptions. When you cancel, close the number so renewals can't resurrect. Avoid storing cards broadly. Store them only with merchants you trust and use often. If you need autopay, keep it on that dedicated recurring number so changes are easy. Manage identities on a schedule. Put a quarterly reset hour on your calendar. Rotate the mobile ad ID. Clear storage in your shopping and travel profiles. Prune connected apps at banks. Close stale aliases, and kill virtual cards tied to dead merchants. Review browser containers and ensure big retailers live in their own silos. Tighten site permissions back to default deny. You'll undo quiet creep that happens after updates. Protect recovery paths. Old email addresses and phone numbers tied to account recovery are hidden anchors. Audit them. Remove numbers you no longer control and add a security key or app-based two-factor for finance and email. A clean recovery setup prevents a breach from relinking identities you worked to separate. For travel and high-stakes purchases, run a two-pass routine. Pass 1, clean profile, no logins, capture the lowest public base. Pass 2, if a loyalty benefit truly beats the spread, log in at the final step and verify the base didn't lift. If it did, book the guest rate and add your loyalty number after with the confirmation code. Screenshots help when you call. Microstory. Mia used mask numbers and a shopping alias for seasonal retailers. After holiday promos tapered, she deleted those masks. Promo calls stopped. 6 months later, her spring travel quotes arrived cleaner, fewer bundles, more base fares she could compare. Identity graphs thrive on stable, repeated patterns. Break the patterns gently and consistently. Don't keep apps you use twice a year. Don't reuse emails across categories. Don't leave accounts logged in after buying. Treat every anchor as a liability until it proves its worth in cash. This stack isn't about hiding. It's about making high-value signals scarce and short-lived, so models can't price you with confidence. When the stitching fails, steering weakens. When steering weakens, your baseline settles closer to fair, and the dollars you save can keep compounding where algorithms can't touch them. Beat the algorithm, behavioral defenses. You've quieted identifiers and split identities. Now you change how you move so their models misread you. The aim isn't perfection. It's to remove urgency, reduce predictability, and make every nudge work harder than it's worth. Start with a simple shopping protocol. Create a wait window. 24 hours for anything under $100, 72 hours for bigger buys. Add items to a list, not a cart. Carts trigger rescue flows. During the wait, check public price history with a neutral tracker. When the window closes, run 3 checks in a clean shopping profile. The brand's site, a major retailer, and a trusted comparison engine. If the brand pushes members only, open another fresh window and confirm the guest price first. Write your happy price before you browse. That number becomes the anchor, not their banners. If a page yells only 3 left, reload in the clean profile. If the price sticks, decide on your timeline. If it drops, note it and still stick to your anchor. Urgency loses power when you set the clock. Coupons should be deliberate, not a scavenger hunt. Skip auto-injector extensions. They leak data and tilt you into bundles. Do a 2-minute manual search in a clean window. If nothing clear appears, move on. Never spend 5 minutes to save $2 and leak a fresh identity anchor in the process. Travel gets its own playbook. Always start with flexible dates and nearby airports in a clean, extension-free profile. Capture a baseline. Close everything. In a second fresh session, flip the order. Aggregator first, then direct. If the logged-in member rate is higher, then the guest rate. Book as a guest and add your loyalty number after with the confirmation code. For hotels, call once with that lower public rate in hand. Ask them to match. It works often enough to be a habit. Use alerts instead of impulse. Set fair and product alerts to your happy price. Let the browser stay closed until the ping arrives. When it does, validate in a clean session, never from the email link, and move if the number is real. You decide when the hunt starts, not the inbox. Guard your inbox anyway. Unsubscribe from daily promos unless they beat your floor every few months. Route the rest to your shopping alias. Disable images so open pixels can't learn your best persuasion hour. When you want a code, pull it from a folder you control. Don't let it pull you. Timebox shopping. 2 windows per week, 30 minutes each. Outside those windows, no browsing retail. Turn off push notifications from shopping apps entirely. Decision fatigue reads as high intent. Fewer sessions mean fewer rescue sequences tuned to your patterns. At checkout, slow down. If shipping appears late, back out and reevaluate. Change fastest delivery to free if your wait window allows. Remove pre-selected bundles and extended warranties unless you'd buy them standalone at the same price. Treat Pay in 4 as a bias test. If it exists to make a purchase feel smaller, your budget probably wants a pause. Negotiate without feeding data. For insurance, telecom, internet, and some subscriptions, call from a clean profile without logging in first. Ask for retention, then a manual review. Keep competitor numbers ready. If they anchor with a bundle, ask for the base rate and line items. Screenshot the clean quote and the logged-in quote. The contrast is leverage. Microstory. Tasha wanted noise-canceling headphones. She wrote $179 as her anchor. The site screamed deal ends tonight at $219 with a bundle. She waited 48 hours, ran a clean check, saw $189 base and $179 at a large retailer with slow shipping. She took slow ship. A "we miss you" email arrived at $10 off. She ignored it. Her anchor held, and her inbox didn't set the price. Use cash rules to lock behavior. Every time you beat your anchor or shave a bill, transfer the difference the same day. If your clean session fare is $26 lower, move $26 to savings. If retention drops your internet by $12, schedule a $12 monthly transfer. Tiny, immediate moves teach your brain that the win is real and ongoing. Create friction where urgency thrives. Remove payment methods from browsers. Keep no more than 1 card stored at a retailer you use monthly. Use virtual cards for one-offs and subscriptions so cancellations stick. Guest checkout becomes your default. Saved details stop being a leash. Finally, protect attention. Keep shopping apps off your home screen. Bury them in a folder or delete them and use the web. Replace scrolling with a checklist. What you need, what you'll pay when you'll check. You won't dodge every nudge. You don't need to. Make the model chase you on your terms. Slow, clean, and calm. From leakage to leverage, investing the delta. You've quieted the signals and changed how you move. Now turn the spread you reclaimed into something that grows while you sleep. Not in theory, by wiring it, today, so the habit runs even when you're busy. Start by naming the delta you've created in the last month. Look at the concrete wins. The guest fare that beat the logged-in bundle by $18, the insurance quote you reset and shaved by $16 a month, the drifting subscription you killed for $12, the checkout upsell you dodged for $8. If you didn't track every penny, pick a conservative floor. Say $50 this month. That's the seed. From here, the rule is simple. When a nudge dies, a transfer lives. Order matters. First, kill high-interest debt. If you're carrying a card at 18% or 22%, the highest return you'll ever get is paying that down. Route your reclaimed dollars to the card with the highest APR. Automate an extra payment that hits right after the statement closes, so it cuts interest immediately. Watch utilization fall. Your score often follows. Second, build a buffer so you don't reverse progress under stress. Aim for 1 month of expenses first, then 3. Park it in high-yield cash where the money earns quietly, not in a checking account that tempts swipe decisions. Label it stability or oxygen. Names matter. You're buying room to breathe so urgency doesn't sell you convenience financing. Third, invest the remainder. Keep it boring and automatic. Choose a low-cost index fund. If you've got room in a tax-advantaged account, 401k, IRA, use it. If not, a plain brokerage works. Set an automatic transfer to hit on payday. Make the amount the lowest reclaim number you can sustain, maybe $40 or $50, and let it run. When a month delivers more, add a one-time sweep of the extra. Microstory. Carla cut 2 streaming bundles, booked a hotel as a guest, and called her auto insurer 6 weeks early. She set a $75 monthly transfer to an index fund. 3 months later, work got hectic. The transfer still hit. She didn't feel richer. She felt calmer. When the dryer died, the buffer paid for it. No 22% card, no BNPL. Calm has a yield. Keep the math sober. At a conservative 6% annual return, $50 monthly grows to roughly $3,300 in 5 years and about $7,900 in 10. At $75, around $5,000 in 5 and roughly $11,800 in 10. No fireworks, just time. The real change is behavioral. Every auto transfer teaches your brain that saving is the default and spending requires thought. That flips the script algorithms rely on. Lock in 2 automations. First, a reclaim transfer. Your monthly floor headed to high-yield cash until your buffer goal is met, then to your index fund. Second, a sweep rule. When you beat an anchor or lower a bill, move the exact difference that day. If a clean session fare is $24 lower, move $24. If retention drops internet by $12, schedule a new $12 monthly transfer and log it as internet delta. The same systems that nudged you in the background now run for you in the background. Protect the habit from tight months. Split the reclaim into tiers. The floor, say $40, moves no matter what. The sweep, anything above the floor, moves when the win happens. If a rough month arrives, the floor keeps the habit alive while the sweep slows. No guilt, no spiral. Next month, the floor is still there. Microstory. Ahmed's first month looked small. $9 off insurance, $6 off a mobile plan, $18 from a clean session hotel, $12 from canceling a drifting app. He set $45 to his IRA. 2 months later, a retention rep pitched a loyalty bundle. He said, "What's the base?" The base was $11 lower. He bumped the transfer to $56, labeled bundle avoided. Use visibility as reinforcement. Create a simple reclaimed note where you list wins with amounts and dates. You're not journaling. You're giving your future self proof the system works. Once a quarter, total the lines and bump your floor transfer by $5 or $10. Tiny ratchets beat big resolutions. Route rewards cleanly. Send cashback and card rewards to statement credit or savings monthly. Don't let brands turn them into points that steer you. A recurring $12 sweep won't change your week, but it compounds right alongside your reclaimed dollars. Tie your plan to 3 milestones so it doesn't drift. First $1,000 built from reclaimed cash. First month you move 3 figures automatically. First renewal season where you switch providers on price, not loyalty. When you hit each, raise the floor by 10%. Not as punishment, as proof the habit is real. One last safeguard. Keep your investing dead simple. Broad index fund. Low fee. Set it and let it run. If markets dip, don't flinch. Your reclaimed dollars didn't show up by chasing headlines. They showed up by starving the machine and cleaning your inputs. The same patience that earned the spread is the patience that compounds it. Unknown to the pricing engine, across your accounts, you're building a moat. Fewer leaks mean fewer frantic months. Fewer frantic months mean fewer desperate clicks. Fewer desperate clicks mean lower prices and kinder terms. The model reads low intent. Your balance reads growing. Both are true. Only one is yours. The policy horizon, where this could go. Markets don't change because they feel unfair. They change when rules or incentives shift. Policy is moving slowly, and it will alter the ground you're standing on, even if it doesn't rescue you tomorrow. Start with rights. Several U.S. states now give you the ability to access, delete, and limit the sharing of your data. Broker registries are expanding, and centralized deletion portals are coming online in some jurisdictions, making one-to-many opt-outs possible instead of forcing you through 100 separate forms. It won't erase profiles like magic, but it raises the cost of collecting and hoarding data without consent. Globally, stronger frameworks already exist. Europe's model forces explicit consent for many uses and grants regulators power to levy real fines. Those pressures push multinationals to ship privacy-lighter defaults or build on-device processing that keeps raw data local. When companies standardize to meet the strictest common denominator, you get spillover benefits even if you're not in those markets. The result won't be perfection. It'll be fewer casual leaks by default. Enforcement is the bottleneck. Real-time bidding happens in under 1/10 of a second. Investigations and consent audits move in months. When a rule curbs one tactic, third-party cookies, for example, another rises to replace it. Hashed emails, probabilistic IDs, and more aggressive fingerprinting. Clean rooms are sold as a fix, but their main purpose is matching without moving raw data out of the walls. The output is still linkage, just with better legal cover. There's a legislative path that would matter. Clear definitions of sale or share, mandatory public disclosures of data sources, and broker licensing tied to deletion performance and security would raise the floor. Independent audits of consent flows could verify that reject all is as easy as accept all. Transparency logs that show which entities received your identifiers would let you follow trails withoad subpoenas. We already use comparable plumbing in finance. It's policy will, not technical feasibility, that's scarce. Expect pushback. Ad-funded services will argue that personalization is survival and that small publishers depend on targeting. There's some truth there, but budgets follow performance. If contextual advertising and privacy-preserving cohorts show comparable results at lower risk, money will move. As marketers learn they've been paying for noise, identities stitched from brittle signals, demand for quieter, verifiable channels grows. Credit, insurance, and employment will get their own recalibration. Several states are curbing or banning credit-based insurance scores. More will test limits on proxies that replicate the same inequities under new names. Regulators are beginning to ask for explainability in automated decisions. What signals were used, how they mattered, and where they came from. Black boxes won't vanish, but sunlight forces simplification. Models that can't be explained get trimmed or shelved. Meanwhile, platforms are shifting some computation to the edge. Phones increasingly block cross-app tracking by default. Browsers partition cookies, isolate scripts, and reduce fingerprinting surfaces. On-device modeling for suggestions and ads will expand. These changes don't end targeting, but they make the most invasive plays more expensive and less reliable. A centralized deletion tool can give you time back, but it won't close every loop. Opt-outs lapse. New vendors appear. Partners claim service provider status to keep the pipe open under a new label. The best law can do is shrink the exposure you have to fight and make the worst practices costly. The rest rides on household behavior. Rotate identifiers, compartmentalize logins, force manual quotes, and move reclaimed cache automatically. Here's the hinge. Policy and personal leverage reinforce each other. When enough people starve tracking of easy signals, identity graphs dull. When graphs dull, ad performance drops. When performance drops, budgets shift toward channels that work without surveillance. That feedback loop bends incentives faster than any single rule. What will it look like on your screen? Fewer autoplay trackers, clearer consent boxes with real, reject all buttons, and pricing that twitches less when you breathe. Under the hood, fewer bid requests will carry hard anchors like hashed emails without proof of consent. Brokers will operate with licenses and logs. Data minimization will compete with accumulation as a default. It won't flip in a season. It'll show up as small, boring changes. Quotes that match your inputs, loyalty perks that stop masking higher bases, and renewal conversations that don't assume your patterns. The big change is invisible, a market that competes to earn your business instead of extracting it from your routine. Until then, your 30-day playbook keeps you solvent and buys time for rules to catch up. Reclaiming the first 1,000 you're leaking each year isn't thrift. It's oxygen that compounds outside the machine optimizing against you. Want the exact steps, timers, and templates to run this at home? Watch the 30-day Reclaim Challenge next and set up your automations with me. Subscribe for more practical playbooks that turn quiet leaks into quiet growth. Your data shouldn't fund their margin. Make it fund your future instead.